Hello, welcome back to Dwarf Academy, episode 5. So we slowed it down a bit. We missed the traders last episode, and I think we probably rushed through a few things, missed a few bits and bobs. Normally, when I set up, I would have put out a refuse pile, which I managed to forget in the excitement, and we'll just put that up here. Any bones, any bits of rubbish will be taken up there. We've got a goblin snatcher. So, protect the children. How are we going to deal with this? Let's check. We're recording. Yes, we're recording. I'm such a new person in some respects. This video is going to be really interesting because there's a goblin snatcher. These guys here are, I guess, visitors. There's a human spearman over here. Where's this goblin snatcher? The goblin snatcher will try and take our children. We have some children. We've got 5 children. Right, so I've pressed U for units, and we can have a look at all the units. The goblin thief should be in the list. The others, Bosa, Spangosolak. We can view the unit by pressing V. A medium-sized humanoid driven to cruelty by its evil nature. His hair is extremely long, he has a round chin, his nose bridge is convex, his teeth are gapped, his head is somewhat tall, his hair is lilac, his skin is grey, his eyes are red. And we can press Z and have a look at this guy. Where is he? He's out here in our entrance tunnel. We don't have a military setup, so we can have a look at that, and we can try and get this guy before he does anything bad. I don't think he's got a child, so we can look at him. Do we using K? Again, we can go to that description, and we can press F and we can follow the guy around. I'm not sure how we know if he's got a child or not. I'm assuming he hasn't. I'd think it would let us know. We can look at reports using R. Okay, Cogsack is hunting. It doesn't appear that anybody's interacted with this goblin thief at this stage. So we're going to create a military, pressing M. We're going to create a squad, pressing C, and we're not going to give it a uniform. This squad, it's just a quick response squad, and this will allow us to add units into this squad, the brave rags. We're going to have a leader who's basically, we don't want to put any of our precious dwarves in this squad. So fishery worker, he should be expendable. The glassmaker, he is a very, very skilled glassmaker. Fishery worker. I think these 2 guys should be able to handle a goblin thief. Let's see what happens. We've created a squad, so we'll escape out of here. We'll press, I believe, squads, S, and A to select the brave rags, and then K to kill. We can select the goblin using the cursor, or we can press L and we can select from the list. Bosa is at the bottom of this list. Bosa Spangosolak. We press I and that'll select Bosa, and we're going to give the order by pressing enter, and our squad will then be ordered to kill this goblin thief. We can press period, full stop, and we can one step, and then we can watch what happens. And this is Goblin Thieves heading back into the fort. So let's just take it off pause and see what happens. Right, he's gone down here, so we're going to go down through the levels. Yeah, we can see he's moved into our temple. Inside the temple, he's running around. He doesn't quite know where to go. Look, as you can see, he's got an exclamation mark. I think he's a little bit confused. I don't know where our squad is. So our squad, we'll go to squad, and we will select the brave rags, and we can, I think, zoom. Center on selected squad, Z. So the squad are here. They've snuck up while we were watching him running around, and it looks like we have a dead goblin. We can have a look at this using K. Here we go. A pool of blood, and then his corpse at the bottom, and all this other gear. We can unforbid this, and that'll allow the dwarves to pick up all his clothes. We can put those in a stockpile somewhere. And we've had our first petition. If you can see at the top of the screen, shift petitions available. Press Shift P. And Boardwalls has a request from Zuntir Ferncrafted, and he wishes to be a bard, I suppose. He wants to come and entertain our citizens. We might as well have a bard, but we'll have a lot of requests. I don't think we're going to be able to take all petitionees. So we've got a dead goblin. We should build a corpse pile, and we'll build that further away from our fort, because dwarves don't like to look at corpses, and it can put dwarves off their jobs. And let's have a look at what's this dwarf doing here. He's having a fish. Okay, so I missed the immigration wave in the last episode when I was on double speed, and I was meditating on certain dwarfish issues. So we'll get Dwarf Therapist up, and we can have a look at what the dwarves are doing, what the skills are, and we can make some adjustments. We've clearly got some fisher dwarves, so at this point we don't want them to spend the time fishing. Fishing is something which requires quite a lot of work. The fishing not so much, but then the cleaning and the dissection, that takes a lot of time and effort. You'll need multiple dwarves to keep up with one fisherman. So one fisher dwarf. At this point, we were not going to have any fishing, and we can get these guys working in our foundry, which we're going to get set up and started off as soon as we can. Otherwise, there isn't too much to write home about, as far as I'm just going to sort that by ID descending, and that seems to bring the older dwarves to the top, our original 7 dwarves. And down here we've got these guys. This guy's a weaponsmith, or a level 15 weaponsmith. So let's start making some weapons straight away. And when we do remember to trade, we'll be able to sell those weapons. And so we've run out of seeds in all these farms. So there's nothing growing. This is because we need to do some brewing, and we're going to do that on repeat. So our brewer now come and brew when he brews those drinks, we'll get some more seeds, and we'll be able to start planting up again. Okay, I will have a quick look as well to see if any more animals have come in that last immigration wave. I think we checked in the last video, but I can't remember. So again, Shift N to edit the information, and then G to show the grazers and all the grazers in a pasture. So creatures that are tagged as being a grazer need to be they need to be penned or pastured in an area where there is grass growing, so something for them to eat. They wouldn't have as much luck up here. Certainly there's more for them to eat over here, and underground there is nothing for them to eat because we haven't breached the cavern layer. We did set our miners off to dig down there, so that's what they're doing. In the last episode, we have our jewel stockpile, we've got a wood stockpile, we've got a stone stockpile, and we're going to get this train track working as well. But we just discovered our weaponsmith, and that would suggest we should get on with making some weapons. We need to first off build a furnace, a wood furnace, and we're going to burn some wood in order to make a couple of bits of charcoal, which we're going to need to smelt some of this. This is lignite. I think we saw some more. I think we saw some bituminous coal a bit further up here as well, or lignite. Yeah, we've got lignite, so we're going to make coke from the lignite, but to do that we'll need a couple of bits of charcoal just to start the process off, and that way we're not burning wood in our furnaces, which is quite handy. You need to use a piece of coke to smelt a piece of lignite, but that process will give you extra coke. I think you get 3 units of coke for every unit that you burn in the process, so you do end up getting quite a good amount of fuel, and that's what we're going to start smelting. So we've got something to burn in our smelters when we get get onto metals for our weapons. So let's build some smelters. So that's build, and then E, and then S for smelter. We're going to build 3 smelters, and we're going to get guys working in those as quickly as we can. We seem to have quite a long way to go down to cavern layer. Hey, there we go. You have discovered an expansive cavern deep underground. Press enter to close window. So the game has paused, and you can see the first cavern layer, or at least the first cavern layer that we've been able to breach. We've come down quite a way, so this may well be the second or even the third layer, but probably I'd say the second layer is likely. There may be another layer above this. In any event, now that we've breached the cavern, we'll start to get underground plants growing in our fort, and we'll be able to build some pasture inside. If you move up to we'll start to get mushrooms and all kinds of underground plants growing in here, and they'll be able to graze. The animals will be able to graze. We can also pick those plants if we want to and eat them, make drinks. But with all things good, there's often bad, and the cavern is a dangerous place, and we're going to get vermin spawning in the fort that wouldn't have otherwise spawned, and it's going to be all kinds of different creatures and peoples, we should say, I suppose, appearing in this zone. It's much bigger than what it looks. If you send our dwarves down there, they'll be able to explore, and these areas will be opened up. You can go through the Z levels. You can see it's like a kind of cavern system. There's bones down there, so you can see they're the bones of a giant. Oh, we've got a giant cave spider down here. That's pretty common. Probably one of the most dangerous creatures in the game as well. I mean, they won't actively try and invade the fort, but if dwarves bother it, they're gonna die pretty quickly. So what we'll do is we'll seal off the caverns. Once we've opened these caverns, which we have, we'll start getting monster killers applying or visiting, and then applying petitioning to join the fort. So what I'm going to do is build a second stairwell just next to the other stairwell, and then I'm going to close off this area here, build a floor here, which will block off the access to the ceiling of this cave. We can breach the cave later with in a safer way. Set up some traps, some doors, things like that, and yeah, we'll go and explore and see if we can avoid the giant cave spider. So we're going to build a floor, which is a construction. So in the build menu, we'll press Shift C and then F for floor, and we can change the size of this floor using the UKMH keys. We then have to select what we're going to make it out of. I will use wood, and the reason I will use wood is not because it's quicker, but it is. I mean, that's one reason. The most important reason I'll do it in this instance is because there are rocks in the passageway below. I mean, there's only 2 or 3, but just it's good habit. I suggest to use wood because the dwarfs will certainly be going up to get the wood. They'll be bringing the wood from above this floor. If they happen to bring the piece of stone, the last piece of stone of the floor was to be brought from beneath the floor, they're very likely to build the floor from beneath, and then they're going to be stuck in the caverns, which is something we really want to happen. So I'm going to use the orange wood logs, which are only 11, a distance of 30. They're 30 away, which is not too far. And I'm going to Shift Enter, which basically means I don't have to select every piece of wood. It's going to be all made of orange wood logs. And if we unpause the game, somebody will come and build this floor, but I'm going to make sure that I watch the floor being built. This is one of the points of the game where we have to be careful. We've breached a cavern, and we don't want any dwarves being trapped. We also don't want one of these floor pieces to be suspended, and the construction to be suspended for some reason, and for us to forget about it, and for something just to walk up through this stairwell, or fly up through this stairwell, when we don't know about it. So now we're safe. Keep it secret, keep it safe. Right, we haven't got much long left in this video. We haven't achieved a super lot, apart from we've breached the cavern layer. We've talked about that. We've put up some smelters. We're going to start smelting in the next episode. We're going to get on with our production, and we're going to start the academy, because this is Dwarf Academy. We've been getting the fort started, but there's more to this than just a basic fort. This is going to be Dwarf Academy, Boardwalls Academy of drunken dwarves, I suppose. All right. What can I say? Be happy. Strike the earth. Cheerio.